Generally, it is difficult to find a country, a society, or an institution without social vice. That's the big that they are all over the world in their different form. On that note, I welcome you to Daily Trend Francophone edition on New World TV Info English. Today we are going to look at social vice, the causes, the effects, and how to minimize it in our society.
Exactly. When we hear about social vices, we can also refer to the problem that you are having every day in the society. Mm-hmm. So most of the time I used to say social vices are also called like social problems. And when we talk about social problems or social vices, it's just any kind of a behavior, any kind of act, any kind of things that you do that can be like a criminal, like things that is inappropriate that we do in the society that does not respond to the regulation of the society.
Okay, I think that as you said it, social vice can be defined as bad behavior or acts towards someone or which affects negatively a society members or is against the social values. Yeah.
Social vice can be a bad habit or a negative activities in our society. When we take the example of the Nigeria in 2019, the statistics reveal that more than 79% of females has been raped and sexually abused.
Wow.
And the male, 7% of the male has been also raped.
Men?
Yeah, the male.
Yeah, of course.
Not only the female has to be raped.
Not only the women which can be raped, men also.
Can you be raped you?
Never. But me myself, I can accept.
But when we look at the statue, we can also remark that there are a big differences between 79 and a 7.
Okay.
79 and a 7. It means that the female are more victims than sexual rape and abuse than the men.
Men. Okay.
Yeah. The issue here is to understand what is the rape. What is rape?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is rape meaning that it's only women can be raped? No, men also.
But I hope that's when we talk about rape. Okay, like this one is one of the parts of the vice. When we talk about rape, I think that is just the fact that maybe you have a sexual intercourse with somebody without, the consent of that person.
Yeah.
Whether the person does not say, yes, I want to do it, but they just force that person. But my question is, how a man can be raped? No. How can a man be forced to make, okay, anyway.
Is there any difference between the sexual abuse or the sexual rape and sexual marital? Okay. The sexual marital, it means that you have the intercourses or you have you make the sexual courses with someone who doesn't agree, or it may be that for the first time you meet the person for the first time, and you take a contact with the person, and you make you rape the person.
Okay.
Is there any difference?
But most of the time, this one happen among the students. For example, when they have a cultural week. Cultural week. You know that during the cultural week there is a motion whereby everybody is don't want to touchy something and finally, okay, but I don't know if really we can consider this one like rape, like maybe a student maybe having a sexual intercourse with is another friend that is it?
Yeah, if someone take alcohol, for example.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's not in himself. Can you say that this person is raped?
Okay, so apart from sexual intercourse, what are some of the kind of rape that you know? Apart from sexual intercourse, what are some of the kind of rape that the types of
social violence? You have prostitution. Do you know that in the year 2014 in Togo, it made that there were more than 10,000.
You mean 10,000?
Yeah, of course.
In our country, yeah. Me, I didn't never hear talk about it like this. But sometimes when we read it on Wikipedia last time, you said that the prostitution is legal in our country.
Yes, that's one of the main research that I make on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That's the Wikipedia said it, not me. That one of my research that I make on Wikipedia is that sexually prostitution is legal in Togo. I never heard about it. It's one I was making the research that I discovered this one. That prostitution is legal in Togo. But the case is that minors and violence is not included in. It means that, for example, when they find a minor that is making prostitution, the punishment that is involved for is applied for this one is 10 years for jail.
Wow.
10 good years for jail. So that is why I can say that is true, because if something is not, for example, allowed in the country, no one can do it. Because every day, for example, when you go around the country, you will see girls with their sexy dress, they are along the road, and the men also come and look for them. So when I make the research and I do refer to that, reality, I say that, okay, maybe it is allowed. If it is not allowed, they cannot be doing it in the country.
It means that you can use yourself as a prostituted person, and you get money. Your money comes from that. But you can't use it as a company.
Okay. Yes, of course. You cannot
have your company say that it is a company of prostitution.
No, they cannot have that one. Okay. The law say that you can also, like you said, you can also have a company. Like, for example, you have to be looking for people
to come and
to come and subscribe, and you employ them.
When they go and they come back, I watch one video like this. It means that the woman gets it's like an enterprise or a company, and they get the female guests, and during the nights the guests go to be prostitutes, and after during the day they give them back the money. And this become the company or the work for her. And at the end of any week they get from there and they pay back those who going to prostitute themselves.
So it means that in some society or some countries they are allowed as you can have a company as prostitution company. That's what we are saying, that in Togo, according to what we have read now, it means that the laws of the rule of our country allowed them to be prostitutes. But in order, this will not be your company or something you have to do to get money.
Exactly. So as I said it, for example, even those people who you see on the road that are prostitutes, okay, or we call them escort. Okay, those people who are like, for example, that are escort. If, for example, you use violence on them, you who use the violence, they can jail you for 10 good years.
Wow.
That is what I read on the Wikipedia. So if you use violence on them, they can jail you, because there is a law that they can use their body like an activity to get money. So they have to do it in some conditions, which means that those who also are prostitutes, they are escorts, they are also must work in some regulation. It means that, for example, if, for example, a man break them to hotel or whatever, to respect their activity, they also must respect back the man. It means that they must not maybe steal the man. They must not give a kind of a drug to the man to sleep in order to take off all his money from. If they arrive to arrest that prostitute, also he is going to be jailed because he does not respect the rule of his work. As someone will apply the violence on him, that's the same thing that he also do, like intentionally.
Talking about also the imprisonment when you, for example, force someone to have sex with you, a minor with a minor. I heard many times about those stories on radio Lomé. They do it every Saturday in Générale. Okay.
Yeah, news.
Yeah. So if every Saturday they used to talk about those who made some crimes and are going to stay to jail for some reasons. I heard it's a lot of time. You can see a man of 40 years call a lady. Let's say a child. A child. Let's say a child. A child, maybe it can be 10 years.
A teenager.
Yeah. Maybe he can tell him that to go and buy something for him.
And bring it to that particular things to him in his room.
But when you inside close the room, you don't have anywhere.
No, that is good. That's what me. But in this particular, let me finish. This particular case, I like the case. You call the teenager to come in your room, and then you close the door. Then you bring him to prison, and you close the door.
So you basically close someone,
and then we close you back.
But before moving on that point, I want to ask that question. Is good for our government or our country to legal or to allow the Togolese to prostitute themselves?
This one, hold on that particular speech.
Yes.
But I wish that we focus on something else. That is, for example, drug addiction or drug abusing.
Yeah.
That one is a particular problem. As for me, because for most of the time, when you see those people who are in a drug addiction or drug abuse, you see that they are young people who are doing all those things. So I see that drug abuse is one of the social vices that maybe we will focus on it also.
This is the normal. This is a social vice because when you are under an alcoholism, you can't control yourself. Even though someone went to rape you, you can go and leave yourself because you are not under control to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is like the how do you call it? How do you take the alcohol who is controlling you? You become the driver,
and you become a dependent of alcoholism.
Of course.
You become under the control of alcoholism.
And many times, what you will do, you will never know that you did it.
Exactly.
And after you will come, that they will tell you that is what you do, and so on.
And we must not forget something. Most of the time, it's the thing that is happening in our society, but we just consider it like it's not important. I want to talk about the way girls used to get dressed. Hey, I witnessed something that just make me laugh, whereby I want to say those people who used to drive a motorbike.
Yes, Zemijaman.
Zemijaman, or like we used to say it in our language, had a big accident. Because looking for
oh my God,
indecent. I see the girl fall on the hole, and the girl was seriously injured.
Has happened?
I said the girl was yes, of course, because the girls get dressed, and she's a fat.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I don't want to say everything here on this channel. You understand everything that I want to say. I mean, her bottom is I don't, understand. If I'm making her, you understand everything.
Maybe the viewers are not understanding.
They understand everything, please, who is not that. And the girl was looking to the lady's bottom. By the time that he may be concentrated, he is already on the hall. Undecent dressing. Undecent dressing. Yeah.
That means that when, this is we have many proof in our country here. Just at the end of the day, Tuesday, you go to limousine at 6 p.m. and we can see what is happening there.
I go limousine.
I go limousine here. You can see what is happening here.
Yeah,
many things are going wrong in our country, and we are under the vices in our country. If you let me say it like this.
Yeah. Before continue, lovely viewers, I think that you are enjoying this discussion on social vices. Before continue, let's go to a quick break. Welcome back from the break. Today our topic is specialized on social vices. We are discussing about the segment, some types of social vices and the causes. In this second segment, we will talk about a little bit about the causes, the effect, and how to manage it.
Exactly, and I always say that there is not a fire. There is not a fire without a smoke.
Yeah.
If there is a vices in the society, because there is these vices are caused by something. Okay. And when I take, for example, the first part, when I take the first part of those people who are, for example, making a prostitution, the matter of love nowadays is going higher, but negatively. Some people, like when I take, for example, young girl, maybe they start loving somebody in their lower age, for example. Yeah. And after that, there is a disappointment. They started with another person, disappointment. 3, 4, 5 times disappointment. So they will now consider all men like they are not. They are the same. They are not serious. So at that time, if somebody, for example, maybe their friends, maybe is making a prostitution and is gaining money from it, and they will advise him now, okay, And that friend even will tell her that, men are not serious. Me, I'm not going to get married. I better go through prostitution, gain money, than staying under a man that will maybe treat me like a slave. So what do you think? And when he will refer to the reality in which she is going through, like disappointment after 5 men, he will say, if at least I will be sleeping with men and get money.
You mean that, if I understand, you mean that unconfidence now lead her to become a prostitute?
That's
me, I can't agree. Even though you are a normal person who have a good education, since you has been a time, you have a good education. It means that even though you have to fail many times, don't lead yourself to become a prostitute because you have many deceptions that you have to become
Mr. Tanawe, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever fallen in love with somebody?
Even though actually I can say yes. Because
you can't say yes. It means that you fall in love with somebody.
Soon or later, I know that sooner or later.
Because the political.
So you are never disappointed. Don't.
Even though I have been disappointed, it means
lovely. We are talking about
any problem has a solution. You can't use a death. Even we have to say that if you have, that anyone has to dead or to get dead one day. That it doesn't mean that because I know that I'll be dead one day, I have to kick myself and die today.
Not the first time. No,
not the first time. You have been disappointed.
Many times, maybe 5 or 10 times. No problem. Disappointed.
You has been. You have many defects, and you have also many things also to do and get a normal way. It doesn't mean that I have been failed that I go to leave the school, or if you take the example of the students. I know the many person who has gone to school for the last class for BE degree, and they fail 10 times, but they have never been disappointed for that.
Who told you?
Yeah.
There are so many people who were disappointed and they stopped
you
school.
Will be upset.
And then they accuse the government.
Yeah.
Okay, you can. I can say that I a little bit agree. Maybe you are right.
We get the solution
but many ladies are not prostitute because they are disappointed. There are some also because of poverty. I mean, they mean something. They need something. Their parents are unable to take care of them. So they need money for their daily needs, all those things. So there is no job for them. I don't know how they think that is better for them to do is to do prostitution.
I agree with you because the poverty also can be a causes of the social vice. When we take the example in our country, Lomé here, many person many students when they come back to school, especially the girls, they didn't get anything to eat, they didn't get anything to dress. When they go to school, others saying that I ate this, I ate
hamburger, shawarma.
And now, because of that, if one guy, some person come or a guy come to propose her, I will give you 1,000, even the 1,000 for you to eat today, and as a result, we have to get a sexual intercourse with you. She will accept because they don't have anything to eat, even to dress. They have to be at the same class than their sisters or the neighbor in the school.
And this one remind me a story that I currently read on Phoenix. It's a newspaper online that 2 sisters, they are let me say twice.
Twice.
So they get married. I mean, they got pregnant with only one man. Because
only one man.
Yes, like I will point you. Like no. I will point you. Like or Emmanuel, for example, who pregnant 2 sisters.
2 sisters at the same time.
Actually, so if you go right now on Phoenix and you type 2 sisters got pregnant in Cameroon, you'll see that they will give you the picture. Their children, because they currently have a baby born, everything, you'll find all the information online. But I see that apart from this one, the matter of a drug addiction, for example, you see that even sometimes. I saw currently in my area a woman, she's a mad.
Yes.
I said the woman is mad.
How
But-
a woman can be a man?
Oh,
at
that
the
one
same
is
time?
everywhere, please. She's mad, but she's smoking. The person is mad.
So she has two problems.
Yes, madness and smoking. I don't know which was better way.
Oh my God.
So, and I said that, okay, maybe this one, there are some family, some children who come from broken home, broken family.
Yeah.
The father, the mother,
mother
are no
not
more
together.
living together.
Yeah.
And that when this child is born, there's no one to advise him or to advise her. He just grew up in the nature. Everything that he sees, he accepts them, and he or she is educated by the society. So when he grows up, maybe if he grows up in a negative community, whereby people used only to steal, whereby people used to smoke, where people used to rape, this child cannot do anything apart from this one. Do we say?
Yeah.
So if, for example, there is a family that has a child whereby the father and the mother are not together, this problem also is easy to happen.
This has its link to the another causes, so it's the home broken. The home broken, those who are living with his mother and his father, and the two has get divorced.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
one.
have your mother, you don't have your mom also.
Yeah.
You have now to be in the road. Others will be, even though I can see it in the road.
There's someone sleeping in the marketplace, around the roadside, and all those things. Yes,
yeah.
this one is happening.
The environment has an impact also on the person.
Exactly.
Yeah, it depends on which environment you are living.
Exactly.
The society in which you are. And the population growth also is a cause. You know that you are unable to take care of let's say 2 children, but you give birth to maybe 6 or 8, but you know that you can't take care of them. Their school fees, their clothes, all things, the needs for their growing up, you are unable to do it, but you try to have many children. Yeah.
That one is in our old society, whereby people used to say, before to be called a man, I must have a lot of people, a lot of children around me, so that, yes, because I have my big farm, whereby I will be there with some of my women and the children, and people will call me like a big person. But I see that we're not going only to talk about the problems and mention them, but I see that we can mention some of the solutions that we can suggest that will be appropriate to.
Why not talk about the effects? If you have also to talk the effect, we have the direct oncoming of the social vice can be also the death.
Yeah, of
The
course.
death. When we take the example of the Eastern European country, they have the highest rate of smoking in their country.
Wow.
As a result, they have also the highest rate of mortality in their country.
Yeah.
It means that when you are under a social vice, maybe alcoholism, the rape, and other, you have to be also. There are many consequences or the results of who you appear in your own body before others or before your society.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Even the family, I mean, in a house where there is a prostitute, a lady who her work is to
Is it the shame of the family?
Yeah, she is giving the shame to the family.
Of
A good thing.
Yeah.
When the family, the parents will go out, or even your brothers or sisters.
That is the brother or sister of the prostitute lady.
Look at the prostitute
Brother or sister. Okay, me, I will automatically jump on the solutions.
Yes.
That's how I come on a solution and say, particularly for the matter of drug abuse. Drug abuse, I will focus on the students, for example, on the students. It is very important that parents must follow I don't say that they will follow their children go to school or whatever.
Yeah.
But because we didn't talk about pregnancy,
Yes.
like child pregnancy or teenage pregnancy,
Yes.
we didn't talk about this one. But particularly, I would say that parents must take a good care of their children. They must protect them. They must advise their children. Everything that they want their children to become tomorrow, they must teach their children today in the room. They will not let the child say that he or she is going to school, he is learning everything at school. The teacher is about to teach him everything that he wants. I hope that parents must have this new intention in order to teach what is good to children, so that they will come to that kind of a person they want him to become in the society tomorrow.
Yeah, the parents need to have a close monitoring on the children.
Of course.
Yeah, as you said it, every time you need to know how your children is going. Some parents, they don't have time for their children. It's not a good thing. You are working, for sure you are working, but you are working for whom? For who?
In the interest of your children.
Yeah, but if you have a bad children in the home, your work, I say, it's not necessary for you.
Useless.
We are not to
Useless.
focus, so let us say that we don't have to focus also for the parents.
Yeah.
We know that the parents have the responsibility to educate very well their children.
Yeah.
But the society also have to give a help.
Yes, of course.
Give a help. One can is we can help those who don't have the poverty persons, those who are around the road. When you go to Deacon now, we have many children around the road there. Why not make or create a homeless or make the house together that persons and give them some education.
Exactly.
Why not? And in the financial part, I can say also the society also have to help those who don't have a lot of money to help them to get something to dress and to get something also to eat. This may be also some kind of a solution about the social vice.
Okay, and when we talk about poverty, I wish that maybe the government can do something in order to create a job for everyone in the society. I know, turn away. Emmanuel, you have a lot to say, but we cannot handle because we are under a time. So that's what we have to summarize everything is that there is a vices in the society, but to cut it down, each family has to take a good care of his child. The government also has to play his part, but we have to know that each of us must play his part in order to reduce the percentage of the social services in our country. So thank you very much. We are actually end. Know that our program is played every Wednesday and Friday at 12:15 and repeated every Sundays at the same time. But on YouTube, you can download our video on New World TV, the Daily Trend playlist, or share on the Facebook, the Daily Trend at the Daily Trend TDT. Thank you. See you next time.